Hey, we are back again on the Drive Marketing, and today we have the honor and the privilege to have the gentleman from Udell Cattle Company in Sioux City, Iowa, Mitch Udell, and Greg Van Zee, the herdsman, as well as Innovation Marketing himself, Graham Blog. How we doing, guys?
Very good.
Doing good.
Thanks, Corey.
Hey,
Good to see you.
that is awesome. You guys all ready for the sale this weekend?
Yeah, sure are. Getting ready to go. Busy few days ahead here, but things are going well.
Absolutely. Hey, Mitch, tell us a little bit about Udell Cattle. Kind of where you started, what's evolved there. Several of us have kind of watched it grow throughout the years, but just give us a little history of it, if you will.
Corey, I don't know if we really want to get into where I started showing shorthorn steers at the county fair, but how we developed the cow herd we have now is buying show uppers for my sister that we thought we could turn into donor cows and, raise some of these things that can go out and have some success for other people, make some other people some money in the long run.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's what it comes down to here. If we can raise donor cows and people can show them, that's great. That's what we're out to do. That's our goals here.
Yep. And speaking of goals, Greg, tell us a little bit about some of the success you guys have had this last year.
We've been very blessed to have some very good females around here at Udell Cattle. This past year, we were fortunate to work with the Wheeler family in Missouri and had an Angus heifer that went on to win Kansas City and both shows in Louisville and was reserved in Oklahoma City. That was one of the big highlights, but we had numerous other county and jackpot champions that, just love working with the families and doing all that.
Absolutely. Graham, it's just got to be such a pleasure to work with an operation that has the donor battery and just pumps out the quality seed stock that these guys do, isn't it?
Absolutely. And that's one thing that, specifically, Corey, on a year-to-year basis, and we talk about some of the females from the last couple years that have been highlights and some of those females that not only have been successful in the shoring, but have become influential donors for not only those junior exhibitors, but the breeding programs behind them. That's something that is really neat to see those cattle pave their own path from the original donor cows that reside at Udell Cattle Company. And, collectively, I think the one thing about this particular year that's really, really neat is that the best matings that these guys have put together over the last 4 or 5 years, whether it be in the Angus side, the Key side, the Simmental side, they're collectively all in the same year this year. We've got not only SIBs to junior national champions, SIBs to Louisville champions, junior national champions. There's just so many different opportunities for folks to invest in the future of their junior projects and ultimately their programs with some of these really, really elite, proven cow families.
Absolutely. Hey, and Mitch, tell us a little bit about you guys. I've seen you up here in South Dakota every year taking care of customers' cattle and fitting them and getting them ready for shows. Tell us a little bit about your service after the sale there at Udell Cattle.
So every heifer that goes through the sale, we're willing to follow and clip and help dress and stuff like that going forward. There's a select few heifers that end up staying, and there's a billing system and all that stuff to figure out, how we're going to bill for that. And it kind of varies. It's different for every heifer or different for every family situation. But we're certainly willing to help out, and we want to follow those heifers and get the most out of them for those families. That way they have some marketing on the backside, get the most out of those females down the road.
Absolutely. And Graham, when are them cattle going to be on display? What's the schedule of event down there coming up into the weekend?
You bet. So the cattle are currently on display. They're at the sale facility right in town, Sioux City, Iowa, and those cattle are pinned, and these guys and their crew have got them looking absolutely perfect. They've been cleaned up every day, and they're on display. So for those of you that have a chance to come through the offering, anytime tomorrow, those cattle will be on display. Anytime on Saturday, they'll be on display. We encourage you to try to come either in the morning or the afternoon, just so you have the opportunity to get through them when they're fresh. But certainly very easy to access, and certainly a great set of cattle to get through, and it's truly something for everyone. I know that something that gets said a lot, but with the 60 head that are allotted, there's something for everyone in this set of cattle that can move their programs forward.
Absolutely. Hey, without further ado, let's dive into these live lots. We're going to start off here, guys, with the 1, 2, 3, and 4 females. All 4 are full sib. They're casinos out of the Queen Ruth 502 cow, full sisters to the Rance Wheeler heifer that wins Kansas City and the North American in Louisville last year.
Well, Corey, this mating certainly surfaced for us here around the farm. These sisters, they are so maternal and so well designed to go out and be functional cows at the end of their show career. We think they're going to be really, really good show heifers, a chance to hang some of the big banners there is to hang across the country. But the real promise of this mating and these females is down the road. As full sibs, including a heifer that brought 13,000 3 years ago to the Lashmet family in Illinois, raised $32,000 heifer this past year. This shows some promise of these things moving forward and having some generating ability, being able to make their new owners some money down the road.
Graham, how is that Queen Ruth cow bred?
Yeah, so 502, she's an inside daughter that was raised by Kelvin Jorgensen. And the neat thing about this set of heifers would be they are free of some of the most popular bulls in the Angus breed in terms of pedigree. So the mating flexibility that they would offer would be absolutely unparalleled. Casinos, back to the inside daughter, Queen Ruth, no first class, no style in their pedigree, an opportunity to tie in and utilize some of the really hot young bulls in the business that are working. And that's something that, just to echo what Mitchell had stated about at the end of the day and down the road after this female show career, there's no question that they have generating ability.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. And that Wheeler heifer, I watched that show in Kansas City and Louisville, both. One that was just so genuine in the way she was built. She wasn't just a fly-by-night freak of nature out there anywhere, but boy, she was so complete in how she was put together. And these 4 here, the pictures look like they follow suit for sure.
Absolutely.
Hey, this lot 7 heifer, Greg, tell us a little bit about this blue chip daughter. This was a full sib to Sarah Sullivan's 2020 Junior Nationals champion female, correct?
Correct. And I think she follows in her sister's footsteps. I mean, she's unique in her build and her bone work, the heaviness of structure, her muscle, but still feminine and very attractive and free moving. I mean, maternal. She ties a lot of the really good things that we try to do here together and puts them all in one package. And hopefully she can follow in her sister's footsteps.
Graham, how's that Ellie cow bred, and tell us a little bit about that, more about that cow family.
You bet. So 2201, I think without a doubt is one of the foundation females in the Udell program. She is a Luton daughter, female, but is so unique just in terms of what she does and the extras that she puts into her progeny. The 2201 cow not only has raised that junior national and Louisville champion for Sarah Sullivan, but a primo daughter. It was campaigned in 2018 by the Steenhook family. She was champion at the North American in the junior show and is now evolved into one of the foundation females in the JS program on their Angus side. There was another daughter, a blue chip sired female that showed the same year as Sullivan's that was campaigned by Kaylee Langford. That female is now in the donor pen for Dusty Rose and Katie Songer, and is going to be, in my opinion, making some big waves moving forward. The Sullivan family bought another sister a year ago that was a blue chip as well, an April-born female, and I know that she has yet to be out, but will be debuted this fall. A lot of promise in that female as well. So one thing that I always say, and I can't emphasize enough, from my perspective, and not seeing them on a day-to-day basis, but seeing how those cattle develop and how they mature, the one thing that I can't emphasize enough is you can never count out a 2201 daughter because they are a little later maturing, but they will get them when it counts. Those cattle always seem to continue to get better daily.
Absolutely. Hey, Mitch, this next one, lot 10, is a 24-carat daughter out of the Blackbird 620 daughter or cow. That donor cow was that the one that Maddie showed in Des Moines that won in Des Moines?
That's the 2017 junior national champ.
Yep. And this one here is a full sister to the $300,000 Free heifer that was supreme at the Eastern Meat Congress.
That is correct. This heifer really is very similar to the Free heifer. Super extended up front, really opened up back there in her pin set and goes to the ground on a big set of feet and legs. One, you really like her mass and their profile from the side. Heifer that's just really, really outstanding in her type and kind. Goes back to just one of the best females I've ever spent time around in my life in Blackbird, in HG Blackbird 620. Excellent, excellent cow, backed by all kinds of good stuff in that pedigree.
And 620 was a blue chip, is that right?
Blue chip 645.
Blue chip 645. Yep.
That donor cow, Alan Miller's. Yes, sir.
Yep, them cattle have. I mean, you've had quite a few out of that cow, and they. I think Scroggs bought a. What was she out of?
She was a new game.
A new game, yeah, last year.
Yes,
that she'll be one of their wingding donors here in the future. That cow there, she just doesn't miss no matter what you breed her to.
But that cow's pretty near and dear to my heart. That was a pretty special moment for our family winning that junior national on my sister's last try. It was sure a good day in the morning.
Yeah. And that was there was a lot of good heifers there that day, and she whipped them all. That's for sure. Yep. And so you got power in the blood here. One that's a full sib, one that's won. That Free heifer went on to be reserve champion Angus at the Cattlemen's Congress in 2020 as well, correct?
She was as a calf.
As a calf, okay.
In 21, she was reserve as a calf.
As a calf, yep.
Yes, sir. She won her division. She won her division back in 2022.
22, okay, you bet. Well, power in the blood cells there in that lot number 10. Greg, tell us a little bit about this lot 14 female, first class out of the famous Phyllis 532 donor.
Well, that donor's really catching a lot of steam and really gaining a lot of friends out in the country here this summer and this fall, and rightfully so. She's doing a really good job for us. And this female, we hope, just adds to the excitement about that cow. Goes back to obviously the first class that has been very popular in the Angus breed and done a lot for the breed. And she good muscled, really good bodied, big legged. I mean, kind of epitome of what we try to do here. He does. Like, she's got some extra power and mass everywhere, yet still feminine and maternal in her overall design, and one that I think can go out and do a lot of good, not only in the show ring, but also in the donor pen for her new owner.
Yep. Hey, and that 532 Graham, she's the mother of the 2022, this year's Junior Nationals in Kansas City. She's the mother of the champion female.
Yeah, absolutely. So that 532 female, that was a blacklist sired heifer that actually was the result of an embryo purchase that Jacob Moore had made at Buck Creek Ranch. That female was an embryo purchase. She sold his sale last December to Josie Phillips for $140,000. But 532, that was not the first time that she hit a big lick. In fact, that cow probably would be the most versatile female in Udell's donor battery, in my opinion, because she works so well also from a sin genetic standpoint. And that female is also the dam of 2 past national champion bulls in Louisville for Adcox, sired by Profit. So she's raised 2 different sons that back-to-back were champions in Louisville, as well as there's a Profit sired heifer out of 532 in the sale this year that is some kind of special, very, very high quality. And it seems like 532 just doesn't miss. The year before that, a style heifer brought 115,000 here at Udell's to Campbell Land and Cattle. That female was very successfully shown by Kenneth Paulson along her career, and I know that seeing some of those early ET calves out of her, she's going to follow 532 and the whole Phyllis line just in terms of generating power. So I think that 532 has barely even scratched the surface on what she's capable of. And here's a direct daughter of first class. The sky's the limit with one like this.
Absolutely. Hey, we've talked about these first ones all out of proven matings, full sibs, the national champions, just the heart of the herd at Udell Cattle. Now we're going to get into a 24 karat daughter that's back out of Forever Lady 7153, kind of one of the more newer donors, isn't she, Mitch?
Yes, sir. So it's kind of a cow I looked into, honestly. My neighbor here, Barry Hageman, decided to disperse his cows. I think it was in 2019. And this heifer was running around there as a bred heifer, and I got lucky enough to buy her through that dispersal sale that day. And that cow is impressive looking. I mean, huge feet, wide pinned, geeked out up front, little headed, really, really, really attractive kind of donor cow. One that never saw a show ring, but certainly a really, really good looking kind of cow. And this 24 karat daughter follows right in her footsteps. Big pin, awesome at the ground, and good looking. One you can really, really appreciate for her completeness, no holes, and looks to last through the summer and into next fall. One we're really, really excited about moving forward in this heifer calf and her mother for future generating potential.
Absolutely. Graham, you got anything to add about this one?
Yeah, that's something there. You know, we've talked about all these different cows that are the name brand, you know, at Udell Cattle Company, and have either the who's who of the donor pen. But I feel pretty confident after going through these heifer calves early this spring, and the 7153 cow is quickly on her way to becoming the new spotlight cow, because these daughters are just so good in terms of their uniqueness. And this set of 24 karat daughters, all a little different in their type and kind. The 24 female, where I feel really surfaces, is the way that she's put together. And Mitchell's mentioned that she's a no holes kind of a female. just in terms of structure and flexibility and the way that she's designed and the overall squareness that she offers, the 7153 cow is really coming out in this female. I'd say that it would be a great opportunity if you're looking for a little new blood from a donor standpoint, backed by a cow that's up and coming. 7153 would be one to tie to. She's certainly, from a pedigree standpoint, no stranger, though she goes back to the great 5001 that certainly did so much for the Hageman family. So a lot of potential in this female. She is a March. A lot of the heifers we've been talking about tonight have either been Januaries or Februaries and an April. So here's a chance to kind of tie into a March prospect, different class, different division, and one that has a world of quality.
Absolutely. Greg, and we would be remiss if we did not mention one purebred Simmental here tonight. You guys have had some great success in the Simmental ring, both during jackpot season and at the national shows. And this lot 33, she is out of that one that you showed there a couple of years ago, the Triple Crown winning female of Toby Nobles there. That won in 2020 and 2021, right?
Correct. Yeah, she's a remedy back on that Pays to Believe White Saxa female that we would have got out of Jeff Paulson's sale. And I don't know, she's one that follows in her mother's footsteps. We think here in her general build and smoothness and correctness and structure, especially for that breed, and one that we think has a world of future. Very, very flexible at the ground, bold ribbed, ultra feminine everywhere. Just can't say enough good about this female. I'm very excited about this female's future and what she's going to do for her new owners, not only in the show ring, but also excited to see her in production and see what she produces.
Absolutely. Is this the first one ever offered at public auction out of that cow?
So actually, Corey, tonight in Canada, Toby's family would have offered, there was 5 sisters female. I don't know how all of them sold, but I know the first 2 through the ring brought 75,000 and 35,000. So absolutely a cow family to tie to. I had the opportunity to go up to Canada a week ago and look at those females, and then seeing these ones at Udell Cattle Company. There is no doubt that Hoya Haley is about to create her own chapter in the Simmental book. She was very successful as a show heifer, but I don't think that even begins to describe what she's going to accomplish as a cow. 33, in my opinion, is the best Simmental or Simmental influence female that these guys here in Sioux City have ever offered. That's a bold statement. I know.
That's a big
word. I think
this
one is special.
Wow.
This one's special.
And how was that donor bred, that Boa Haley bred?
She pays to believe, make it rain.
Pays to believe, make it rain. Very good. Wow. That's exciting. Them are big words. We'll look forward to the bright future in that lot 33 Simmental female. Hey, Mitch, and then we're going to round this deal out with lots 54 through 56. It would not be a Udell sale if you did not have a trio of Red Thunder daughters, a cow that has dominated the key breed in every which way but loose. I think at the stud there, we keep donors there at the stud. I think the most we've ever had at one time is 7, but there's been a month that we had 7 Red Thunder daughters there at one time get flushed. A cow that's just had such an impact on the key breed. Tell us a little bit about these females. What are they sired by? What are your thoughts on them?
So lots 53 through 55 are all style daughters. And then 56 is a no limit. The blue chip Sandy of Tim Schaefer's, that new young Angus bull. I can't say enough about Red Thunder. I mean, she's done so much for us over the years. I mean, stood the test of time, stuck in there, and really got it done. Whenever you really needed her to get it done, she sure did it. I mean, and then every time you think it's over, you think, oh, there'll never be a Red Thunder as good as the last one. The next year comes around, and sure enough, she sticks right in there and writes another chapter in the long book that is her history here at Udell's.
And I mean, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. You started with style, and styles are still relevant out of her. There's no doubt about it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Seems to just keep clicking for these guys. And, the 56, different pedigree than what the sisters have been traditionally.
Is that the
but
first?
That is one.
Is that the first no limits you've ever had out of her?
There was one last year. Two of them last year. Yeah.
Last two.
Yep.
This one probably 56, in my opinion, probably is the most like the female that Gensini's bought a year ago that ended up in the top 5 at the Illinois State Fair this past summer. Very, very neat featured, extra style, extra hair, all the bells and whistles for a show heifer. But those style daughters, I mean, they're peas in the pod, and a guy certainly can't go wrong with the quality represented there.
Yeah. Well, and a style Red Thunder, the Gottemiller family wins the Key Show 2 years in a row with a style Red Thunder daughter, once as a bred heifer and once as a cow calf pair this year in Louisville. So just such a high quality proven mating right there. Well, guys, this has been an absolute blast. I was pumped when you guys got a hold of us today about doing this tonight. I knew the cattle would be good. You guys are known for that. Always a lot more fun when the cattle are good, and there's a lot more to talk about for sure. But tell us again, Graham, some dates, some times, and what auction platform to look for and stuff like that.
You bet. And thanks, Corey, for accommodating this tonight. It's always great to visit with you guys and just kind of go over some of the highlights in the sales. But the Udell Cattle Company Advantage Production Sale is going to be Saturday night, October 15th. It will be at 6 p.m. Central. We invite everyone to come out to the sale facility in Sioux City. Sales at 6, but dinner's going to be served beforehand. Cattle will be on display all afternoon. They'll be on display all day Friday as well. If you are unable to make it, please don't hesitate to hop on CCI.Live. We'll have a live broadcast. We'll also have a handful of different phone numbers. Greg, Mitchell, Brett, Maddie, myself. There's plenty of different folks that you'll be able to call if you're unable to get online or your internet is unreliable. Don't hesitate to reach out and call or text any of us to make sure that we can get you on the phone and take care of any of your buying needs.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thanks a lot. And I tell you what, another thing I heard about that sale down there, they got some really good cocktails. Our crew came home from that. Enjoyed the hell out of the hospitality down there and said they had a great time. So guys, good luck to you. Cattle look great. Have a good one.
Thanks, Corey.